I still can't believe you actually counted every day. Chloe laughed during our last video call. I counted every hour, I replied. 3 weeks felt like 3 years. You miss me that much. I bought flowers already. You always make everything romantic. I have one more surprise. What surprise? You'll find out after you land. Now I'm curious. You'll have to wait. I hate waiting. I know. I'll see you soon, Ethan. I love you, Chloe. I love you too. The call ended with a smile that stayed in my heart for the next 2 days. Now I stood inside Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, holding fresh white roses in one hand and Chloe's favorite chocolates in the other. My pocket felt heavier than usual because a small ring box rested inside my jacket. My hand shook every time I touched the box. A voice echoed through the terminal. Flight 284 from New York has arrived. My heart started racing. This is it, I whispered. Families gathered near the arrival gate. Children laughed. Couples hugged. Friends waved at each other. Every happy reunion made me imagine my own. An older man beside me smiled. Waiting for someone special? Yes. Wife? Not yet. The man laughed. Good luck. Thank you. The doors finally opened. Passengers slowly walked into the terminal. I searched every face. Come on, Chloe. Another group appeared. Still no Chloe. My phone buzzed. Chloe asterisk just got off the plane. I smiled. I'm right here, I whispered. More passengers walked through the doors. Then I saw Chloe. A huge smile appeared on my face. Chloe. The word never reached Chloe. Another man walked beside Chloe. The man held Chloe's suitcase. Chloe laughed at something the man said. The man gently touched Chloe's shoulder. Everything inside my chest tightened. No. I blinked several times. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe the man was only helping. Then Chloe reached for the man's hand. The man smiled. Chloe smiled back. Their fingers stayed together. The flowers nearly slipped from my hand. Chloe finally looked toward me. The smile disappeared instantly. Chloe stopped walking. The man looked at me. Everything okay? The man asked Chloe. Chloe took a slow breath. Ethan. I forced myself to smile. Welcome home. Nobody moved. The silence felt louder than every airplane outside. The man stepped forward. Hi, I'm Mason. Mason offered a handshake. I stared at Mason's hand without moving. Mason slowly lowered the hand. Chloe looked down. I wanted to tell you before today. What happened? I asked quietly. Chloe closed Chloe's eyes for 1 second. I met Mason during the business trip. I laughed nervously. Okay, then. I didn't expect any of this. What does that mean? I fell in love. The words hit harder than any punch. No. I'm sorry. No. I never wanted this to happen. No. Passengers continued walking around us. Nobody noticed my world falling apart. I looked at Mason. How long? Mason answered honestly. The first week. I looked back at Chloe. The first week. Chloe nodded. I tried to fight the feelings. You call me every night. I know. You said you loved me. I know. You watched me plan our future. I'm sorry. You accepted flowers I ordered. I'm sorry. You let me dream. Tears filled Chloe's eyes. I never wanted to hurt you. You already did. Mason spoke carefully. I understand you're angry. You don't understand anything. I didn't plan this. I don't care what you planned. Chloe reached toward me. Ethan. I stepped back. Don't. I wanted to explain. Explain what? I didn't choose this. You absolutely did. The ring box inside my pocket suddenly felt like a stone. I pulled the small box out. Chloe covered Chloe's mouth. Oh my God, I was going to ask you to marry me. Tears rolled down Chloe's face. Ethan, I practiced the speech. My voice shook. I imagined this moment every day. Nobody spoke. I looked at the flowers. The white roses suddenly looked meaningless. I placed the chocolates on a nearby bench. Then I gently placed the ring box beside them. I don't need any of this anymore. Chloe cried openly. I'm so sorry. I hope Mason was worth losing everything we had. Mason picked up the suitcase. We should go. Chloe looked at me one last time. I truly am sorry. I didn't answer. I simply watched Chloe walk away beside Mason. Their hands found each other again before reaching the exit. I stayed exactly where I was. The airport remained full of happy reunions. Mine had just become the saddest goodbye of my life. The airport stayed inside my head long after I reached my apartment. Every step through my front door reminded me of Chloe. The coffee mug Chloe always used still sat on the kitchen counter. The blanket Chloe loved remained folded on the couch. Every corner carried a memory I never wanted to lose. I dropped my keys onto the table and stared at the silent room. I really believe we had forever, I whispered. No answer came. My phone buzzed. Ryan called. Hey, Ethan. What? I heard about the airport. So everyone knows already? Chloe told a few people. I guess that saved me the trouble. I'm sorry. Are you? Of course. Then tell me something. What? Did anyone know before I did? Ryan stayed quiet. Ryan, I heard rumors. You heard rumors? I didn't know if they were true. You could have warned me. I didn't want to accuse Chloe without proof. I closed my eyes. I understand. I really am sorry. I need some time. I'll be here. The call ended. Another message appeared. Melissa asterisk, I'm sorry this happened. I typed a reply. Thanks. Nothing else felt worth saying. The next morning, I forced myself to go to work. Daniel looked up from the conference table. You look terrible. I didn't sleep. I can tell. I'm fine. No, you're not. I said I'm fine. Daniel nodded slowly. We'll talk later. I spent the morning staring at my computer screen. The numbers blurred together. My email filled with unfinished tasks. My phone stayed silent. Part of me kept hoping Chloe would call. Part of me knew that call would never come. Daniel stopped beside my desk. Coffee. I don't feel like it. Come anyway. I followed Daniel into the break room. Daniel handed me a cup. What happened? Everything. I need more than that. My girlfriend came home with another man. Daniel looked at me for several seconds. I'm sorry. I planned to propose. Dating in sight. That makes this even harder. I keep asking myself what I did wrong. Maybe nothing. There has to be a reason. Sometimes people make selfish choices. I can't stop thinking about it. You won't stop today. I can't work. I noticed. I might lose this job. You won't. You sound confident. I'm your manager. I looked up. I'm also someone who survived heartbreak. You. Daniel smiled sadly. Years ago. What happened? My wife left. Or did you move on? I stopped asking questions that had no answers. I don't know how. You'll learn. I don't feel strong. You don't have to feel strong today. Daniel placed a hand on my shoulder. Just don't quit on yourself. I nodded without speaking. That evening, I stopped at a grocery store. I wandered through the aisles without buying much. As I reached the parking lot, my phone rang. An unknown number appeared. Hello. Hi, is this Ethan? Yes. My name is Olivia. I don't think we know each other. We don't. Then how did you get my number? I work at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. My heart skipped. I remember you. You do. I saw what happened. I stayed silent. I'm sorry for calling unexpectedly. It's okay. I asked airport security if anyone could help me contact you. They gave you my number? You left your business card near the flowers. I remembered placing the chocolates and ring on the bench. I wasn't sure whether calling was a good idea. Why did you call? I wanted to ask one question. What question? Are you okay? Nobody had asked me that honestly. Not one person. I laughed softly before tears filled my eyes. No, I'm sorry. I keep replaying everything. That makes sense. I don't know how to stop. You don't have to stop today. I feel embarrassed. You shouldn't. Everyone watched my life fall apart. I watched someone who truly loved. I lost everything. You lost someone who didn't value your love. I wiped my eyes. Thank you. You don't need to thank me. You called anyway. I couldn't forget your face. I appreciate that. If you ever need someone to listen, I'll answer. I might actually do that. I hope tomorrow feels a little lighter. I hope so too. The call ended. For the first time in days, I smiled. The pain remained. The memories still hurt. The apartment still felt empty. But one stranger had reminded me that kindness still existed. The next morning, Daniel walked into my office. You look different. I slept 4 hours. Progress. I also realized something. What? I've spent days waiting for Chloe to come back. And I don't think Chloe is coming back. Daniel nodded. So what will you do now? I took a deep breath. I'm going to rebuild my life. One day at a time. One decision at a time. Daniel smiled. That's the first good decision you've made all week. I smiled back. For the first time since the airport, I believed my story was not over. A week passed without a single message from Chloe. I looked at my phone less every day. The silence still hurt, but I stopped expecting an apology that would never change anything. Daniel knocked on my office door. Got a minute? Sure. Daniel placed a folder on my desk. I have something for you. What is it? A freelance software project. I already have a full-time job. I know. So why give me more work? Because staying busy is healthier than staring at old memories. I smiled. You really planned this. I planned your recovery. I appreciate it. The client owns 3 small businesses. Think I can handle it. I wouldn't ask if I doubted you. I opened the folder. This is bigger than anything I've done alone. Exactly. I might fail. You might surprise yourself. I accepted the project before I could overthink it. That evening, I cleared my apartment. I packed away every photo that reminded me of Chloe. The empty shelves looked strange. The silence felt different. Instead of loneliness, I felt space for something new. The next morning, I walked into a local gym. A trainer greeted me. First day, is it that obvious? The trainer laughed. We all start somewhere. I need a fresh beginning. Then let's build one. Every workout left me exhausted, but the pain inside my heart slowly competed with the pain inside my muscles. Sleeping became easier. Eating became normal again. Daniel called one afternoon. How's the project? I'm making progress. Any problems? Too many. Good. Good. Problems force improvement. You always have a lesson ready. I've made enough mistakes to collect them. I laughed. I needed that. I know. A month later, Daniel invited me to a business networking event. I don't belong there. You absolutely do. I'm just a programmer. You're becoming an entrepreneur. I've never called myself that. Start today. The conference room buzzed with conversations. Daniel introduced me to several business owners. Then Daniel stopped beside a woman studying building designs on a tablet. Ethan, I'd like you to meet Grace. Grace smiled warmly. Nice to meet you. You too. Daniel speaks highly of your work. I hope Daniel isn't exaggerating. Daniel laughed. I rarely exaggerate. Grace extended a hand. My architecture firm needs custom project management software. That's exactly what I build. Perfect. Daniel looked at both of us. My work here is done. Daniel walked away before I could respond. Grace smiled. I think Daniel planned that. I think you're right. Grace laughed softly. I like honest people. I try to be. So do I. We spent nearly an hour discussing software instead of personal lives. The conversation felt easy. No pressure. No games. No pretending. As the meeting ended, Grace asked, "Coffee sometime?" I hesitated. Grace noticed immediately. I don't mean as a date. I relaxed. Business? And maybe friendship. I can do friendship. Good. A few days later, we met at a quiet cafe. Grace opened a laptop. I made a list. I like organized people. I heard programmers appreciate lists. We definitely do. We reviewed ideas for almost 2 hours. Finally, Grace closed the laptop. Can I ask something personal? You can ask. You don't have to answer. Fair enough. Someone hurt you. I looked down. Is it obvious? Not obvious. What gave it away? You apologize too often. I do. You expect people to leave. I stayed quiet. Grace sipped coffee before speaking again. I won't ask for details. Thank you. But hiding pain forever doesn't make pain disappear. I know. I've learned that lesson too. You've been through heartbreak. Yes. Did you recover? Slowly. Ow. I stopped blaming myself for someone else's choices. The words settled deep inside me. I've been blaming myself every day. I guessed. I keep wondering why I wasn't enough. Grace looked directly into my eyes. Respectfully, you're asking the wrong question. What should I ask? Why accept someone who didn't value your loyalty? I had never thought about it that way. Grace smiled gently. You deserve honesty. I forgot what honesty feels like. Then remember it one conversation at a time. That night, I returned home feeling lighter. Not because my pain had disappeared, because someone had reminded me that healthy people speak differently. Weeks passed. The software project succeeded. Another client contacted me, then another. My confidence slowly returned. One evening, Daniel called. Check social media. What? Just do it. I opened my business page. Hundreds of positive comments filled the screen. One notification caught my attention. Chloe Bennett viewed your profile. Another notification appeared. Chloe Bennett liked an old business post. I stared for several seconds. Then I closed the app. Daniel laughed through the phone. You're not calling Chloe, are you? No. What are you doing instead? I'm finishing my next project. That's my guy. I smiled. For the first time since the airport, my future mattered more than my past. 3 months changed my life more than the previous 3 years. My freelance projects grew into a real business. Daniel helped me register my technology company, and every new client gave me another reason to stop looking backward. Daniel walked in my office carrying 2 coffee cups. Congratulations. For what? You just signed your 10th client. I still can't believe it. I can. I would have never reached this point alone. You did the work. You opened the door. Daniel smiled. You walked through it. Grace entered a few minutes later. I hope I'm not interrupting. Never, I replied. Grace handed me a folder. Our architecture team approved your software. Seriously? Every manager loves it. That's amazing. You earned it. I laughed. I should celebrate. Grace smiled. I know a good restaurant. Daniel grinned. I suddenly have another meeting. You don't have another meeting. I do now. Daniel left before either of us could stop him. Grace laughed. I think Daniel enjoys playing matchmaker. I've noticed. Does that bother you? No. Good. We spent dinner talking about work, books, family, and future goals. The conversation felt peaceful. Nobody played games. Nobody tested loyalty. Nobody made promises they couldn't keep. As we left the restaurant, Grace looked at me. You smile more now. I do. Much more. I guess healing is finally happening. You earned that too. The following week, my company appeared in a local business magazine. My inbox filled with congratulations. Ryan called. You're becoming famous. Let's not exaggerate. I'm serious. I'm just working. Someone else noticed too. What do you mean? Chloe asked about you. I stayed quiet. Chloe wanted to know whether the article was true. And I said yes. That's all. Chloe also asked whether you're seeing anyone. What did you say? I told Chloe that wasn't my story to share. Thank you. You don't sound angry. I'm tired of being angry. That's probably healthier. I think so. A few days later, another mutual friend called. Ethan. Yeah. I ran into Chloe. Okay. Things don't look good. I don't need details. I figured. But Chloe looked unhappy. I hope Chloe finds peace. You really mean that? I do. Ending the call surprised even me. Months earlier, I wanted answers. Now I wanted distance. One rainy afternoon, Grace stepped into my office. I brought lunch. You're becoming my favorite visitor. I'll accept that compliment. Grace placed 2 sandwiches on my desk. Before I could answer, my receptionist knocked. Ethan, come in. Someone wants to see you. Ooh, Chloe. The room became silent. Grace looked at me. You don't have to do this. I took a slow breath. I'll handle it. Grace nodded. I'll be nearby. I walked into the reception area. Chloe stood near the window. The confident smile I remembered had disappeared. Dark circles rested beneath tired eyes. Hi, Chloe said quietly. Hello. Thank you for seeing me. I only have a few minutes. I understand. Silence filled the room. Finally, Chloe spoke. I've been wanting this conversation for months. I'm listening. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I said nothing. I hurt you. Yes. I've apologized 100 times inside my head, but never to my face. I was ashamed. What changed? My life. I waited. Mason isn't the person I believed. I figured. Mason changed. Or maybe Mason stopped pretending. Chloe lowered Chloe's head. Maybe. I'm sorry. I know. I thought excitement meant love. It didn't. I confused attention with commitment. I folded my arms. What do you want from me? I don't know. Think carefully. I wanted you to know I regret everything. I believe you. Hope appeared in Chloe's eyes. You do? Yes. Then maybe... I interrupted gently. No. Chloe looked confused. No. I accept the apology. But I won't reopen my life. I've changed. So have I. I still care about you. I care enough to wish you well. Is there really no second chance? I looked through the glass wall toward my office. Grace smiled encouragingly from inside. I smiled back. Then I faced Chloe again. The person who waited at the airport would have said yes. And now, I respect myself too much. Tears filled Chloe's eyes. I never thought I'd lose you forever. You lost me the day you chose someone else. I was confused. You were free to choose. I know. I've forgiven you. You have. I refuse to carry hate forever. Then why can't we start over? Because forgiveness isn't permission. Chloe covered Chloe's face. I understand. I truly hope life gets better for you. I don't deserve kindness from you. Maybe not. You're different. I had to become different. I wish I had understood your value earlier. So do I. Another long silence passed. I should leave, Chloe whispered. I think that's best. I'm sorry, Ethan. I know. Chloe turned and walked toward the exit. This time I didn't feel broken watching Chloe leave. I felt free. Grace stepped outside my office. How are you? I smiled honestly. I think I finally closed that chapter. Grace reached for my hand. I'm proud of you. I gently held Grace's hand. So am I. For the first time, my future felt brighter than every memory my past had tried to protect. A few weeks passed after Chloe visited my office. Life finally felt peaceful. My company continued growing. Grace remained beside me through every challenge. One afternoon, Ryan called. Can we meet? Sure. It's important. We met at the same coffee shop where I had once shared dreams with Chloe. Ryan looked uncomfortable. What's wrong? I need to tell you something. You sound nervous. I should have told you months ago. I stayed quiet. Ryan took a deep breath. Mason wasn't a stranger during Chloe's business trip. What do you mean? Chloe already knew Mason. I frowned. How long? About 4 months before the trip. I leaned back. For months. Ryan nodded. They met at a business conference. I thought everything started during the trip. So did I. What changed? Melissa finally admitted the truth. My chest tightened. Tell me everything. Chloe started texting Mason long before leaving Seattle. They were already close? Yes. Did Chloe cheat on me? Ryan hesitated. I don't know everything, but I know Chloe was emotionally involved. I looked out the window. The airport wasn't the beginning. No, the airport was only the moment you found out. I closed my eyes. So everyone watched me walk into that disaster. Not everyone, but some people knew. Ryan lowered his head. I knew something wasn't right. You could have warned me. I know. I trusted you. I'm sorry. I believe you're sorry. You have every reason to hate me. I don't. You don't. I'm disappointed. I'm ashamed. I can see that. Ryan looked relieved. I don't expect forgiveness. You already have it. Really, I don't want to carry another burden. Ryan nodded slowly. I don't deserve that kindness. Maybe not, but I appreciate it. The conversation ended with quiet understanding. That evening, Grace noticed my silence. You've been thinking all day. I learned something. Grace sat beside me. What happened? Chloe and Mason were talking months before the airport. Grace listened without interrupting. I always believed everything happened suddenly. And now I know betrayal takes time. How do you feel? Angry. Only angry. And strangely peaceful. Peaceful. I finally stopped wondering whether I imagined the warning signs. Grace nodded. The truth answers questions. Even painful ones. Especially painful ones. I sighed. I don't want revenge. I know. I just wanted honesty. You deserved honesty from the beginning. I'll never receive it. You already received enough. What do you mean? You finally know the truth. Grace reached for my hand. Now let the truth free you. The next morning, Daniel walked into my office holding a newspaper. You should probably see this. Daniel placed the paper on my desk. A headline covered the business section. Local investment firm under investigation. I immediately recognized Mason's company. I read the article quietly. Fraud allegations. Broken partnerships. Frozen accounts. Legal investigations. Daniel folded the newspaper. Karma works without permission. I don't feel happy. Good. I honestly don't. That means you've healed. A few days later, Melissa called. I need to apologize. You don't owe me anything. I stayed silent. You did. I was afraid of losing Chloe. I understand. I should have protected you. I appreciate your honesty. You're kinder than I expected. I've spent too much energy on pain already. Melissa aside. Chloe lost everything. I stayed silent. Mason's money disappeared. I heard. They argue every day. I'm sorry life reached that point. You're actually sorry? I don't enjoy watching people suffer. Melissa paused. Chloe cries almost every night. I hope Chloe find help. Chloe misses you. I believe that. Would you ever? I gently interrupted. No, I understand. I truly wish Chloe peace. I'll tell Chloe. You don't need to. After ending the call, I stared through my office window. Months earlier, I would have celebrated Mason's downfall. Instead, I felt nothing except relief that my life no longer depended on someone else's choices. That evening, Grace invited me for a walk along the waterfront. The sunset reflected across the water. Grace smiled. You've been quiet. I think I'm finally letting go. What helped the most? You. Grace laughed softly. I only listened. You respected me. You deserved respect. I forgot what healthy love looked like. And now I know healthy love never asks me to compete for honesty. Grace squeezed my hand. I'll never ask that. I know. We stopped near the water. I used to think forgiveness meant giving someone another chance. Grace smiled. A lot of people believe that. I don't anymore. What does forgiveness mean now? It means refusing to let old pain control my future. Grace looked at me proudly. I like that answer. I finally believe it. For the first time since the airport, memories of Chloe no longer felt like open wounds. Those memories became lessons instead of chains. I realized I didn't need revenge. Life had already moved forward. So had I. Almost a year had passed since the day my heart broke inside Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Now I stood in the same terminal again. Everything looked familiar. Everything felt different. Grace walked beside me carrying a laptop bag. Nervous? A little. About the conference? No. Grace smiled. The airport? Yeah. I guessed. I never thought I'd come back here without remembering that day. And now, I still remember. But the memory doesn't control me anymore. Grace squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you. I couldn't have reached this point alone. You did the hard part. We both did. Daniel joined us near the security checkpoint. I made it before boarding. You actually came, I said. I wasn't missing this. Grace laughed. Daniel acts like a proud father. Daniel smiled. Watching this company grow has been one of the best experiences of my career. You changed my life. No. Daniel shook his head. I only pointed toward the road. I still appreciate it. Daniel hugged me. Enjoy London. I will. And remember. What? This conference is only the beginning. I know. Daniel waved goodbye and walked away. Grace looked at me. Ready? I think so. We walked toward the departure area. Every step reminded me of another version of myself. A man who carried flowers. A man who carried an engagement ring. A man who believed love alone could protect a relationship. I silently thanked that younger version of myself. Without that painful lesson, I would never have become the person walking beside Grace today. As we reached a quiet hallway near our gate, I heard a familiar voice. Ethan. I turned around. Chloe stood a few feet away. No expensive clothes. No confident smile. No excitement. Only tired eyes and quiet regret. Grace looked at me. I'll wait over there. Thank you. Grace walked toward a nearby coffee shop. I faced Chloe. Hello. Hi. I didn't expect to see you. Neither did I. Silence settled between us. Finally, Chloe spoke. I almost walked away. What changed your mind? I didn't want another year to pass without asking. Asking what? Whether second chances still exist. I looked at Chloe carefully. They do. Hope appeared in Chloe's eyes. But not every relationship receives one. The hope disappeared. I understand. I think you already knew my answer. I hoped I was wrong. I'm sorry. You've already forgiven me. I have. Then why does this still hurt? Because forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. Chloe nodded slowly. I've spent months thinking about that. I believe you. I lost everything. I'm sorry. I deserved it. I won't judge that. I judge myself enough. I stayed quiet. I keep remembering the flowers. So do I. I remember the ring. So do I. I destroyed the best thing that ever happened to me. Maybe. I want to take everything back. I know. I can't. No. Chloe wiped away tears. I don't expect another chance anymore. Thank you for understanding. I only wanted one honest conversation. We're having it. I never stopped caring about you. I believe that. But caring arrived too late. Yes. I wish I had understood your value before chasing excitement. I hope you've learned something. I have. So have I. Chloe smiled sadly. You look happy. I am. I never thought I'd see that again. I almost didn't. I'm glad you survived. I'm glad too. Another boarding announcement echoed through the terminal. Grace looked toward me from across the hallway. Our flight is boarding. I'll be there in a minute, I called. Grace nodded. Chloe took one slow breath. Grace seems wonderful. Grace is honest. I can see that. I finally understand what respect feels like. You deserve that. So does everyone. Chloe looked down. I don't deserve another place in your life. No, but I hope you build a better one. I'll try. I truly hope you succeed. You still wish me well. I always will. Thank you. Chloe extended a hand. Instead of shaking it, I gently hugged Chloe. The hug lasted only a moment. It carried no romance, no hope, no unfinished promises. Only goodbye. Chloe stepped back. I guess this is really the end. It is. I'm sorry, Ethan. I know. And thank you. For what? For teaching me what real love looked like. I smiled. I hope someone appreciates the better version of you someday. I hope so too. I watched Chloe walk toward another terminal until Chloe disappeared into the crowd. This time I didn't feel heartbreak. I felt peace. Grace walked back beside me. Everything okay? Everything is finally okay. Grace smiled. Ready for the future? More than ever. We walked toward our gate together. As I stepped onto the plane, I looked through the terminal windows one last time. I realized the greatest victory had never been watching Chloe lose everything. The greatest victory was refusing to let betrayal decide the rest of my life. The airport had once become the place where my future seemed to end. Now the same airport became the place where my new future truly began. I smiled, took my seat beside Grace, and watched the plane rise into the sky, carrying me toward hope instead of heartbreak.